In this video, I want to talk about how Tear the Goddess has become a very popular choice for many players in the current metagame. Ever since its rework, it's seen some very interesting use cases, most notably recently in the LCS where TSM Huni picked it up as an early game item on Ornn of all champions. You might have also seen some other random laners and even AD carries pick it up for a strong laning phase. I'll talk about why so many players have been doing this recently, the strengths of this strategy, and why you should be making good use of this strategy in your own games. Hey guys, I'm Quach. If you enjoy the video, please subscribe for more content like this. It's free and you can always unsub if you want later as well, no harm done. So in S11, Tear the Goddess received a minor rework in order to make it more flexible and more potent as an item in the earlier stages. The main thing being revised is that it doesn't require a sapphire crystal anymore, and its total cost has been reduced from 850 gold down to 400. The power of the item has also been adjusted to accommodate for the reduced cost. Instead of giving you mana every time you spam a spell, Tear not only gives you mana if you hit an enemy with a spell and grants more mana per proc if you hit an enemy champion. In addition, Tear by itself can now only grant up to a total of 600 mana, down from the massive 1000 mana it was able to provide previously. The upgraded items that Tear builds into still increase this mana by up to 860, not including the Seraph's passive, but overall it's still producing generally less mana than it did previously with some exceptions. However, the reduced cost also means that you can buy it as your first item now, which many players have been doing, but many players have been purchasing it randomly just for the sake of alleviating mana problems from their build. We've been seeing an incredible amount of tech purchases of the item in their builds, with players all over the place just picking it up. Mid and top laners also won't hesitate at all to pick up the item, since the new lower investment costs allow you to spam a lot of spells in lane for free. This is why we've been seeing some top laners be able to pick it up as well. Power of a lot of champions in lane is usually gated by the amount of mana they have, but Tear allows so many champions to be able to cheat their laning phase because it allows them to seemingly access a really massive mana pool without much issue. Naturally in League, there's a lot of abilities that don't have much counterplay, but typically cost a lot of mana, so they're not that spammable. But with the Tear tech, you basically remove almost all of the mana problems you'll have in the early game for only 400 gold, making some champions so much more annoying to deal with. One of the main questions some people may have with this Tear purchase is how players will still be able to transition the item into later portions of their build, and how they incorporate the upgraded Tear items into it. The answer to that is they don't. Although some champions, notably spell spamming AP champions, enjoy finishing the Tear and upgrading it into Seraph's Embrace, there are lots of champions that won't actually want to commit the 3000 gold to finishing the item. In some cases, this is because there are other items that they would prefer to finish first, but a lot of the times it's actually because they're building it on champs that aren't actually good with either Mirror Mana or Seraph's Embrace. So what these players do is literally just sit on the Tear and keep it for the entire game, treating it as if it was a starting item pretty much. And since Tear only costs 400 gold, this strategy is actually extremely viable and extremely potent. 400 gold to remove almost every mana problem you'll have in the game is a really small price to pay, and considering that you can just sell the item back for 280 gold once you run out of item slots, you gain an insane amount of capability for how little the strategy will cost you in the end. In your own games, whatever champ you find that has mana problems, no matter the role, I genuinely think that buying Tear is extremely viable and powerful for enhancing your laning phase. I've personally been spamming it on Malphite as my main starting item. Malphite's biggest blocker is running out of mana, but ever since I've been buying Tear first, it's really not that bad anymore, and it's just so easy to maintain strong presence in lane now. The new Tear in its current state can be abused on almost any champion in the game right now, and I really highly recommend using its insanely high amounts of free mana in your own games in order to increase your capability in your own game. I'll catch you guys in the next video and stay fresh.